Okay, so here we are just with an update on the roof project. That's all the metal roof and various accessories that are going to be going up. So this is from obviously the front of the house. So they've got the larger half north portion of the roof taken off, and most of the strapping, well, the vertical strapping, they still need to do the horizontal strapping, it is up. And you can see here that they've also done ooh, not a good angle. Okay, one sec. That's better. So you can also see that they've done the right half or south half of the smaller portion of the roof. They haven't done either side of this dormer yet, or that side, as you can tell. They're working on the valleys first. That's kind of what their process is, and they haven't done that side of the roof yet either, the far side. So you can see one of the interesting things that's come out of this is, you know, they've put up new fascia, which is nice. That's treated lumber, and then there's plywood there with a bit of a 1x3 spruce strapping there, just to clog that gap that's there, so you know that birds and squirrels or something can't squeeze in there. So that'll need to be painted, primed and painted, to make sure it's protected from the elements. But here you can see how the point is. You can see how deep it is. It's roughly 9 inches or so from the house. And then when you move over to the back of the house, you see, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's come down. Good riddance. Here's a big pile of roof. Oh, there's the chimney going to landfill, that sucker. So yeah, finished my thought on here. So now we're in the back of the house, and then you can see here this portion of the fascia that they've redone. You can see how it overhangs close to double the front, and that really strengthens the theory that this house was originally all 4 sides brick, and for some reason in the past, this brick at the back, because there is brick on both sides and the front, so the bricks here on the back were removed. They either fell off or they were removed, or a combination of both, or whatever. And my theory, of course, is that corner there, right there, is the corner that has sunk roughly 4 inches. And you can tell, see how the roof line is just sort of dips down, because the you know, that corner has sunk down, because that, you can see there the vent pipe that I put in, that's where the bathrooms are. And you know, I've got quite a bit of talking on the other videos on the wonky floor in that corner. Well, that's the exterior part of that corner of the house, and it's all it's sunk. So by, you know, just rough, I don't need to know exact, but it's roughly 4 inches that it's sunk, which would screw up any kind of brick on the outside. For that to happen, it would, all the mortar would get cracked and separated, and the brick might have just started to fall off one spring right around here. And then they said, the hell with it, and they took the brick off the entire back. And you can see there, I'll zoom in, they put on this, that's fake brick, that's not real brick. That's, look how straight the lines are. That's not real brick. That's an asphalt product covering. Very ugly, very crappy. That is underneath the siding. Of course, you know, why remove things? Just put things on top, on top, on top. And then, of course, underneath that is this barn board, which is around the whole house. The original build of the house had, from outside in, you had finished brick, then barn board, and then that brick nogging which is fill the gaps between the studs, as I quote unquote insulation, more of a windbreak really, because it's only like R1, R2, something like that. And then it's the inside, right? So you got the studs with the plaster lath and so forth on the inside. So yeah, so this barn board is everywhere underneath the finished brick. So I'll have to decide what I'm going to do with the back of the house here on external finishing. There's various options. I could put siding up, I could put stucco. Well, the stucco is way more expensive, but it definitely looks a lot better. Yeah, whatever. I'll come up with something. You know, it's definitely down the pipeline. It's more phase 4 is dealing with this outside stuff. So, and I'm still in phase 2, so not on my radar at the moment. And yeah, so going back to the debris, lots and lots of debris. So yeah, there's the chimney. I've asked them to keep, or like keep as in just leave on my property, the old aluminum roof, because I have various creative ideas that I want to use for it. Built exterior coating for a new shed. There's nothing wrong with that shed, like technically nothing wrong with it, except when you're 6'3" and you need to bend over and stuff and you're prone to back problems, that shed sucks. So I'm going to build myself at some point in time a new shed that is, you know, meant for normal size humans. And then I could use this aluminum for the outside of the roof and whatnot. I'm also planning to build a play structure for the kids out here, and I was going to use this siding to line the edges of it for the look of a battleship. Thought that'd be pretty cool. And then my creativity started going crazy on me, and you know, I could use it for the ceiling in the man cave or walls in the man cave or this or that. I don't know. I can make use of it one way or another, so don't throw it out. Like the good sheets anyways, like the little offshut corners and stuff like that, yeah, chuck that stuff. Don't need it. You can see the pile there of lath boards. That's all from the second floor. I wish I could. What could I use as a size of this? I don't know. Okay, how about that? There's a bathtub, and then there's the pile of lath boards, and that's not all of it either. It's the vast majority, like 90% of what I took down from the second floor. Yeah, this is how much wood and weight is coming out of this house. You know, I know I'm putting weight back, like drywall and whatever, but nothing compared to what I'm removing. Anyways, that's like kindling for life. Oh boy. So other stuff, you know. Oh yeah, I didn't really zoom in on the roof here. All right, so they got this whole side double strapped, so that's what it's going to look like, well, everywhere, before they put the finished product metal roof on. So that adds about 1.5 inches of airspace between the roof and the wooden part of the roof and the metal part of the roof. And you need that because different materials expand and contract with heat and cold at different rates, and that's part of why this roof started to fail. Like, it is old. Like, my ballpark is that it was put up in the 70s, so you know, nothing lasts forever. But when you, and it was done with nails, not screws, so they tend to pop. And when you have different expansion and contractions because of the temperatures, then the nails start getting looser, and then they allow a little bit of moisture in, just a little bit, but that's enough for it to freeze in the winter, which then of course expands. Water expands by 10% when it turns into ice. I know that because I actually did a science experiment on that. That's how nerdy I am back in the past. But so when water turns into ice, it expands 10% in volume, and so that pushes the nails even more. And then that allows more moisture in, which more ice, which more expansion, and eventually the nails get really loose, and then you get a big windstorm of 40 kilometers an hour, 60-kilometer gusts, and poof, you start losing pieces of your roof. You avoid that by putting in this air gap, which allows the two materials to expand almost independently of each other. That's why that's going up. And the whole reason you do that on this roof is because it's a cathedral style roof on the cathedral style second floor. If it was like a normal attic, you know, like these other houses, where, you know, you have a flat ceiling there, and then the rest of this is all attic space, you don't need to do that because they're the same temperature on inside and outside. But not for how this house is being designed, especially with all the spray foam, which is locking everything in. And of course you can see that beige stuff, paper. Well, it's not paper, but it's the weather shield. So you've got denser, more durable stuff at the bottom 4 feet. Oopsies, bottom 4 feet, and the top is a normal weather shield all the way up to the top. It breathes. Well, not the ice shield. The ice shield doesn't, at the bottom there, it doesn't breathe at all. But the oh my god, the mud, the old spring. So that allows, you know, it's almost a one-way membrane, so it allows it to breathe a bit. It doesn't need to breathe a lot. It just needs to breathe a bit, because you don't want it to be totally locked in, because then if any moisture does end up getting in there, typically due to temperature changes, then you get mold and problems and blah blah blah. So you put on this weather membrane, which allows it to be wet on the outside, dry on the inside, but also allows it to breathe if it somehow gets a little wet. There's the new vent pipe for the main stack. There was that original pipe that I cut off. There it is, I see it. So the original, this is the original, well, top of anyways, the original vent pipe. Like, here's my thumb. Like, look how small this thing is. Absolutely ridiculous. And they've covered over it, obviously, the hole that the original pipe is. And then I cut that new pipe hole and put the pipe out. And they've kind of put in the lower part of the boot. And then, of course, when the roof goes on, blah, 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 they'll have another boot that goes on top of the bottom of that. And it's all nice and sealed. But it's kind of hard to tell from a distance. But that's a 4-inch internal diameter, which is by code what you need for a 3-bathroom with a kitchen and laundry and all that house. And this is what they had. Like, under-serviced much. Jeez. I always got a kick out of it because I am a fan of the board game Clue. And you always figure, like, lead pipe? Really? Yeah, this. You hit somebody with this, they go down. Like, yeah. Clue lead pipe. Well, I guess if I wanted to, I got more pipe. It looks better than that. If I wanted to keep a piece of that, if I wanted to have some sort of host a home dinner theater thing of a play it yourself live action Clue. There's my there's my lead pipe. You see, we've been piling up, getting ready for the first fire pit. That pile's a bit too big. It won't last long anyway. So you can see here, they haven't gotten to this side just yet. It's been a good week. The weather outside of today making them short. Only putting in a half day today because the weather was not cooperative for all of today. But they got a lot done in 1 week. So I'm happy with the progress. And when they get to the far side, this side here, you can see this part of this veranda roof has got to go. I was not able to do it myself in preparation for them because it wraps around and there's no way I can get up there. Nowhere safely I can get up there. So I'm going to be working with them getting rid of this roof, this really annoying roof, because you can see it cuts into the normal roof line, and I hate that. So that roof is going to go, and they're going to put the roof line back to the original way it's supposed to be, and that this will be the first step of this whole place here, the top and the bottom, being ripped out eventually. And I'm gonna put it back. I'm gonna put an addition back there. It's gonna be different, a little smaller. The stairs, nope. And it'll look nice and stuff, but it won't be affecting the roof line. Yeah. I think that's pretty much it for this update. I don't know, have a view of the backyard here. You can see that's a post, corner post of my garden. The rest of the wood is still buried under snow. You can see there's another part of the garden wall. I do have plans to put that kind of wall, this really nice looking vertical post, not post, but just pieces of wood, all the way around the garden. It'll look nice. And then you got the two 4x4 posts. I did have twine. Obviously that didn't work. It's not there anymore. It died. So I'll put in a stainless steel cable this spring for using as like a training trellis of vines that grow. And I guess it's about time in the season to start trimming this apple tree again. Within the next 2 weeks anyway. Trimming all the branches down. It produced a lot of apples last year. I was happy with that. And the raspberry bushes that are over here are coming up already. They haven't started budding obviously or anything like that, but they're nice. You can see here, nice bright red, nice and healthy. It's good. And there's lots of them. There. Where is it here? Yeah, there. That's a big one. That's going to produce a lot of raspberries, and there's a few over there too. So at some point I'm going to clean this up really nice, let these raspberry bushes do their thing properly, you know, to train them, and because they can be invasive. And I think this is also a good spot for my rhubarb, because you don't plant rhubarb in the direct sunlight, and this is, you know, nice and shady in this area. So that's a future place for my rhubarb. Yeah, there we go.